Welcome to the JS Self-Care Mind, Body, and Soul podcast, a weekly conversation about self-care, personal development, and all the small decisions we can make to become the best possible versions of ourselves. I am your host, Janelle. I am a social worker and a self-care life coach based out of New York. For more information, make sure you visit my website at JSSELFCARE.org. I want to welcome my new listeners, and I also want to welcome my returning listeners. If you can please share this episode, because there is someone in this world who needs to listen to this episode. I also want to personally thank you for making the JS Self-Care Mind, Body, and Soul podcast part of your weekly routine. I see so many people that have done so. I truly, truly appreciate you. This week, I want to discuss the 7 cardinal rules of life. Life can be complicated, but if you follow and apply these 7 rules of life, life can be much easier. The 7 cardinal rules of life can remind you where to focus and invest your energy so you can enjoy life more. I can't say following the 7 cardinal rules of life won't be challenging to follow, but it will be beneficial. All you have to do is tailor the rules to your life. These simple rules of advice can be applied to every circumstance in your life. Letting go of the burdensome ideas and unnecessary responsibilities is the first step towards your health and freedom. Focus on overcoming offenses and being patient with yourself are vital forms of self-care. I tend to use inspirational words around me on a regular basis to boost myself up, motivate myself, or I even remind myself of the things that are true. I am a true believer that words matter and they have a huge impact on us. Although I don't know who wrote the 7 rules of life, I find that every time I read them again and again, one rule hits my heart at a certain time, and it reminds me of what I need or what I should let go, because it's none of my business. The first of the 7 cardinal rules of life is to make peace with your past so it won't disturb your present. Maybe the most obvious thing people think of when they hear this rule is it must be pertaining to the baggage we can bring into a new romantic relationship because of a bad breakup. But I know that our past has an impact beyond relating with a new person. The past has the power to affect our behaviors within our relationships with family, friends, and coworkers. Our past affects our jobs and career choices, but it just doesn't stop there. Our past can have an impact on our bodies as well. The past has a way of affecting our present in unhelpful ways. An important way to take care of your mental is for you to continuously live in the moment and also look ahead to an amazing future filled with great opportunities. Our past is unchangeable, no matter what you try to do to change it. The goal is to keep moving forward and enjoy the moment. As you move forward daily, you must intentionally move beyond your past. If you want to make peace with your past so it won't disturb your present, you have to forgive other people for their offensive behavior. You have to forgive yourself for your past mistakes. You have to change your mindset by allowing those painful memories to fade by choosing to think different thoughts. For instance, change those thoughts to moments, to the in the moment thoughts. Those thoughts to living in the moment. Accept what has happened to you in your life. Make a new commitment to yourself daily. Leave the past in the past. You can't change it, so leave it there. By living in the past, it will interfere in your present and your future. You will never grow unless you find it within yourself to let whatever happened in the past go completely and unapologetically. Learn from your mistakes, bad decisions, and failed relationships. Let those strengthen the person you are becoming. The bottom line is let it go. It's a very big point to make peace with your past. It's all about forgiveness. You need to forgive yourself. Forgive others. Your past so that you will move forward or move towards your subconscious. It's done. It's over. Move on. Make peace with your past so it won't disturb your present. Let's go on to the second cardinal rule of life. Our second cardinal rule of life is what other people think of you is none of your business. Wow, this one is my all-time favorite. How many of you heard this saying, what you eat, I don't shit? Well, what other people think of you is none of your business. You can never, ever know another person's thoughts or intentions. Stop falling into the trap of always worrying how others will react to your decisions. Instead, be your authentic self so you can attract the tribe of people who truly belong in your life. Do whatever it is that makes you happy, and the right people that align with you will stick around. This may come out harsh, but I want you to look at this rule in a positive light. Focus your time and energy into being true to who you are. It is important to be true to yourself and forget about everyone else and what they are doing because it's none of your business. When you finally free yourself from the constant worry of outside opinions, you will be able to focus your energy into the things that matter and can propel you to move forward. I don't care, and you should not care what others think of you. It doesn't matter. The only person who is subject to my thoughts and your thoughts is God. He thinks you are a pretty darn good person. I happen to agree with God, and so should you. Enough said. What others think is none of your damn business. One of the highest places you can get on your journey to self-care is being independent of the good opinions of other people. How much time have you spent wondering or even worrying about what others think of you? Don't lie. I think at some point we all thought about what others thought. And at some point in our lives, think about it. If you weren't so busy thinking about what others think, what could you have been doing with your mental energy? Maybe focus on you, playing with your kids, anything but worrying about what others think. Next time you catch yourself thinking about what someone else is thinking about you, remind yourself it's none of your business. Focus on doing your best rather than questioning yourself if others think you are good enough. What others people think of you is none of your business. Now let's move on to the third cardinal rule of life. The third cardinal rule of life is time heals almost everything. Give it time. Be patient with yourself and your healing. Be your ally so that you can grow from the horrible moments in your life that have put a strain on you, moving forward in your path to success and to your self-growth. When you work on goal setting for yourself, you are taking steps towards the life you ultimately want. Continue working on self-growth, and before you know it, everything that might have been a big deal will seem so petty. When things become petty to you, this is when the healing process from things that left you reeling happen. You will start saying to yourself, I was hopping over the dumb shit. Nah. Or you will say, I let that situation consume my energy. Nobody got time for that. We really need to just give some things enough time to work themselves out to heal. Give it time. They say time heals all wounds created in your heart through words or deeds by friends or relatives. The key to healing is giving yourself time. If you look back on your life, the many people who have hurt you are no longer around. Most of the problems you were facing back then are gone now. I know you're probably asking, how long do I have to wait to get over certain things? There is no set time for any particular thing you went through. You'll get over it once you work through it and you choose to put it behind you and you are willing to move forward. Time heals almost everything. Give it time. Now let's go on to the fourth cardinal rule of life. The fourth cardinal rule of life is no one is in charge of your happiness except for you. I think I need to say this once again. No one is in charge of your happiness except for you. You control your emotions, not others. So if you rely on others for your happiness, I want you to take your power back. This is your life. Stop worrying about the things that are completely out of your control and do what you want for your life. Life is way too short to spend it constantly worrying about things you can't change while constantly putting yourself on the back burner. You have to put you first. Your happiness matters just as much as the next person's happiness. Take all the risks you want. Be like Nike and just do it. The truth is, you have to make you happy at all costs. Well, here we go again. We all want to be in charge, right? This rule gives you the permission to be in charge of your own happiness. Take the opportunity and create the happiness you want. Just don't allow anyone else to be in charge of your life. Stop it. A scientific fact. No one is in charge of your happiness but you. Did you know that you can actually exercise your brain to increase your happiness? Positive thinking and positive self-talk really does change your brain in a real physical way. It means that your thoughts can change the structure and function of our brains. Repetitive positive thoughts, self-talk, and positive activity can rewire our brain and strengthen our brain areas that stimulate positive feelings. The brain has the power to form neural pathways if you do the work. No one is in charge of your happiness except for you. Now let's discuss the fifth cardinal rule of life. The fifth cardinal rule of life is don't compare your life to others and don't judge them. You have no idea what their journey is all about. It's really easy to pass judgment on others without knowing their journey, but it is simple to pass judgment. It's just bad karma. Nothing good comes to you when you compare yourself to others. You are actually hurting yourself by obsessing over others and what they do or say. Try focusing your time and energy on you. I have to say this again. Focus your time and energy on you instead of on others. Everyone is not on the same journey as you. Everyone is on their own journey. Comparing yourself to others is the best way to throw your self-esteem down the drain. Just know there will always be those who are better than you and those that are worse than you. People are born to be different. Let me say that again. People are born to be different. There's no two of us are the same, not even identical twins. They are different from each other. There will always be room for improvement because nobody is perfect. As I always say, we are imperfectly perfect, not on the outside, nor on the inside. And don't judge others. You have no idea of their journey and what it's all about. Don't compare your life to others and don't judge them. You have no idea what their journey is all about. Now let's discuss the sixth cardinal rule of life. The sixth cardinal rule of life is stop thinking too much. It's all right if you don't know the answers. They will come to you when you least expect it. The older we get, the more thoughts we have all at once. It is perfectly okay to not have all the answers to every problem in your life. Trust the process and trust yourself that everything will work out the way it is supposed to at the right time. The answers are there and they will come to you when you least expect it. One of the best tips for getting things done is simply to thinking and start doing them. Don't get lost in the thinking part. It is all right not to know the answers. They will come to you when you least expect it. Keep overthinking from overtaking your life. It's okay to say, I don't know. Stop thinking too much. It's all right if you don't know the answers. They will come to you when you least expect it. Now let's go on to that seventh and last cardinal rule of life. The seventh cardinal rule of life is you don't own all the problems in the world. You don't own the problems in the world, and all the problems in the world are not your responsibility. So I need you to release that stress because those problems are not your problems. So with that being said, I want you all to smile. Smiling is a good feeling, and by smiling, it increases internal happiness. So keep smiling and stop taking on problems that have nothing to do with you. Think positive thoughts and enjoy your newfound life of not worrying about the world's problems. Live life each day reigning in new positive thinking. Each day is a new day. Each day you get the opportunity to live a better life. And that is definitely something to smile about. Did you really think that you owned all the problems of the world, but you can't be bothered with your own shit? You avoid your shit because you want ownership of everyone else's problems. Well, knock it off. Forget everyone else's problems and worry about your own problem. Scientific fact. When you smile, the world smiles back at you. Smiling can happen without much thought. It's a natural response that shares our happiness with others. Did you know that smiling also triggers activity in your brain? There is serious mind-body connection there in your ventral medial prefrontal cortex to be exact, which is not surprisingly the area of your brain that registers happiness. You don't own all your problems of the world, so stop acting like you do. Focus on you. That is our 7 cardinal rules of life. The 7 cardinal rules of life have taught me to make peace with my past. What other people think of me is none of my freaking business, because it really isn't. Time heals almost everything. Give it time, work it through, and you will get through it. No one is in charge of my happiness but me. So if I want to live a happy life, I have to be in charge of it. Don't compare your life to others and don't judge them. You have no idea what other people's journey is. Stop comparing your life. Work on your other's life. Work on your life. Try that. Stop thinking too much. It's all right if you don't know the answers. They will come to you when you least expect it. You don't own the problems of this world. You only own your stuff. If we keep things with us and working on us, we will be better people. So I hope that you enjoyed this podcast because I enjoyed recording it. While I hope you love listening to and learning from this podcast, it is not meant to be a substitute for mental health treatment. For those of you who are ready to get started by talking to a self-care life coach who can answer all your questions about self-care, I want you to schedule a free consultation at JSSELFCARE.org. If mental health treatment is needed, please don't hesitate to contact a therapist in your area. Self-care is important and necessary. Take care of you and continue to put you first no matter what. If you enjoyed this episode, please subscribe, rate, and share. For daily doses of self-care affirmations and notes to self, make sure you join the JS Self-Care social media tribe on most social media platforms. Social media links will be placed in the episode's notes.